Welcome to this Kiss Classic. It's going to be a long lesson. There's a lot to this song. As usual with Kiss songs, we're tuned down a half step, so your E is an E flat, A flat, D flat, and so forth. So tune your guitar half step down. I'm basing this off of Kiss Alive. To me, that is the quintessential song. So we'll go through this. I'll have my tab that I wrote out. Took the time to put all these notes together for you, and hopefully you'll be able to play along with the song. So off we go. To me, the hardest part of doing a lesson is teaching, if you will, the chorded, finger-picked, and how best to do it. So I'll speak to how I do it and whether that works for you or you find the best way. What we're going to be doing, a form of A minor, F major 7, and we'll slide that up to a form of G. So with that said, we're going to be playing a melody within this chord, okay? So we want to be on an A minor form because you're going to use your pinky. You have to use your pinky in this song. So we're going to start out plucking the A string, 5th string, and going to the 4th string at the 2nd fret. Again, we're in an A minor form. And then what I do is I hybrid pick. So I'm using my ring finger to pick the 1st string at 3, all right? Then we lift it up, and what we're doing is we're pedaling between that E note on the 4th string. So you hear that E constantly ring out between the notes. So we have 5, 4, and then 1 as far as strings. But again, we're on an A minor and we're adding our pinky on that 1st string at the 3rd fret. So I think the tab will really help you here. Back to that 4th string, then open 1st, 4th string, then we're going to move that 3rd fret 2nd string, 2nd fret 4, 1st fret of the 2nd string, and then again our 4, and then open. Alright, so really if you get this pattern down, the rest will really fall under your fingers. So let me take it slow for you. Okay, so we've left off on that open 2nd string. Then what we do is we're going to play that 4th, 3rd, and 2nd to open. Alright, so that last open gives us our pedal note, and then 2nd on the 3rd string to open on the 2nd. So I know it's a lot, but follow me on this. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how you've picked through that chord after you've hit that open 2nd? Alright, and then we're going to go to open 3rd and go to our F major 7th form, but we're going to put our pinky down on that 2nd string, and we're going to pick through the 4th to the 1st string. Okay, so we've got... Then we're going to pick the 4th string, the 3rd string, to the 2nd string from the 3rd fret, and then pull off to 1. And then back to 3, and then open. Alright, so let's take it from the open 3rd into our F major 7th with that 3rd fret of the 2nd string. Then we're going to hit that 4th string again at 3 to open. open. And then our second fret of the third string, slide that up to 4. Put your first finger down and catch the third fret of the second string to open. And back to the second string at 3. Boy, I know this is a lot. And again, follow the tab, because there are some lessons on this, and God bless them, they kind of fell short on this. So I really spent a lot of time on this intro because it's beautiful and really wanted to get it down. So I think you'll find if you follow the tab and what we're doing here, you'll be able to nail it. So from the top. So that is the first phrase or measure. We're going to repeat that, okay? So we'll go through it again. I'll do it a little quicker. All right, now we're into what I consider the second measure of this. For what I consider the second measure, we've repeated that intro twice. We're going to go into this, and again, keep that A minor form, and we're not really going to use our third finger for this. We're going to pick through this A minor. Alright, let's take it from there. So we're going to pick the 5th string open to the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and we're going to take that 2nd string, hit it open, and then hammer into that A minor. Then we'll go 3, 4, back to 3 as far as strings, but on the 2nd fret. And then we'll do that open to 1st, and then 3rd and 4th. And then there's a little bit of pause. Listen for that nuance that Paul puts in this. He really emphasizes that hammer onto the 1. So let me take it from the top. So the last part, we're doing that hammer on, and then we go to the 2nd fret of that 3rd string, and then to open. Now we're going to our F major 7, and we're going to play 3rd fret on the 4th string to 2nd fret on the 3rd, and we'll do that same open to 1 hammer. And then we do our slide. Now what we're going to do, and you can catch the 4th string if you want, but it's mainly the 3rd string slid up from 2 to 4, just like we did earlier. Okay, so that is kind of a common theme. Alright, so this whole second half. Alright, so now what we do is we're going to do a very similar measure next with this A minor and hammering in on the 1, but the very last half of it, when we go to the F major, we're going to play a melody through that, so it'll sound like this. Okay, so we were picking through a melody in that F major, okay? So we've gone through the A minor just like we did earlier. Then we're going to pick that 4th string from the 3rd fret to the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, and we're going to use our pinky now. We're going to go 3, and we'll pedal on that 4th string at this point at the 3rd fret. So we've gone 3 open on the first string to 3-1 open on the second, pedaling between that third fret on the fourth. And we're going to leave off on that pedal note and catch that second fret of the third string sliding up. Okay, and again, if you play more of a chord, that's fine. It sounds great. So that is the intro. Now, like I said, there's a lot of lessons on this, and I think some of them fall a little short, and God bless you for doing it, but I really put a lot of time into this. And at this point, there's an arpeggiated A minor and an F major 7th that no one really shows you. So I went ahead, and again, I figured that out, and he actually goes back into that A minor with the hammer on after this arpeggiated part. So this is when he starts singing. Alright, so I'll go through the arpeggiated measure, and then I'll show you where they go from that. So you could see how we went back into that second measure without the slide. So to arpeggiate this A minor, what Paul does is he's going, take your A minor form and 5th string, 4th string, then you go to the 2nd, 3rd, and 1st. Alright? And after the 1st, you come back to the 2nd, 3rd, and 2nd. Alright, we're going to do that again, but when we come back to the 3rd string at the 2nd fret, that A minor, we're going to hit an open G to take us to our F. That'll be our change to our F major 7th. To that F major 7, and we're going to play the 4th, 3rd, 2nd string, back to the 3rd, and then the 1st, 2nd, 3rd. And back to 2nd, and then 3rd. So it sounds like this. Up on that 2nd fret of the 3rd string, you're going to go back into that A minor with the hammer on the 2nd string. Alright, just like before, and you're going to do half of this measure of the F minor 7th. Just end on an A minor. It's very quiet. If you listen to this carefully, you'll hear that, but it's there, and he ends on the A minor. So to play this, what I've done is I've got my distorted signal all set, but I've just got my volume on my guitar turned down to about 2. So when I'm ready to crank it up, I just take it up to about 8.5, and we go into this. Alright, so we'll go over that part next. So I do want to speak to how I'm teaching this song. There are, you know, 2 guitar players, you know, Ace and Paul, playing off of each other, and the wonderful thing I think about Kiss is Ace never necessarily followed Paul with the same notes. He did the same notes but an octave higher, and that added to the fullness of the sound. So I'm going to show you what I think is the normal or maybe the Paul way of playing it for rhythm, and sometimes I'll show you the variations on it that Ace would have played. But from watching him live, this is primarily what I saw him play. So we're going to start out with an A chord, and then we're going to take take your A form at the 6th fret, and we're going to play the A note on the 4th string to the E note on the 5th string and to the A note on 6. Now you can play those same notes here at the 2nd fret, your A, E, and then back to A. But again, watching them live, especially the John Kirshner rock concert, you can see they go. And then we're going to go open 6th string to 3rd fret and 5th string. So we have this. And then we're going to go to the 3rd fret of the 5th string, 2nd, and then open. 3rd fret of the 6th, and then an F chord, just a power chord. Then we come up to the 12th fret, and we're going to hammer on the suspended on the 2nd string of the 13th fret and 4th string at 14. Alright, so we have this again. Let's take it from the top. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're into the verse. So that's the intro. And again, like I said, if you want to play it here, that's fine. You know, that's fine. Same notes. And again, I think Ace and Paul might play that 2 ways. So, okay, so we've done that intro, not the arpeggiated, but the heavy part twice. And then we're into verse 1. Verse 1's a little bit different from verse 2. So I said this song has a lot of nuances that we'll cover, but verse 1, we're just going to be playing basically an A power chord, and then we're going to do a walk down to our F, and that's suspended up here at 12. So it'll sound like this. This is verse 1. So, what we've done there, A power chord, and then our walk down is on the 5th string from the 3rd, 2nd to open, and then 6th string at 3rd fret to our F power chord. Then we're going to do that again to the F power chord. Then it changes. Now, again, there's 2 ways to do this, but what I really hear, and I'll explain why later, because there's some licks that really need to be done in the open position. I'm pretty sure Paul's playing this. G on the 4th and 3rd string, hammered on to referencing an A, and then hitting the 5th fret referencing a C. This is all on that 4th string. Back to a full A power chord. Now another way to do that is you can play the 5th and 4th string from 5 to 7 and then catch the 4th and 3rd back to the 5 and 7. Which is very similar to what they did in Got to Choose. Okay, but again, listening to it, I really hear an open. And I'll show you the licks that he does that make sense to play it in this position. So now we're into the chorus, okay, when they go woohoo. So we're going to go F to G, and then we're going to do this. F to G, A to C and D. So A is twice, C, D, back to C. And then we're going to go to G for 3 counts. Back to A, and then G. And then F. And then G. All right? Okay, so that is the chorus. Now the chorus is consistent. So verse 2 will change a little bit, but that chorus will stay the same. So let me show you the second verse, because again, it's just a little bit different. We're going to add a 6th string to 5th string, and then our walk down. So it'll sound like this. Alright, so the difference is after we hit the A, it's about a half measure. We're going to come in with our open 6th string to the 3rd fret and then open 5th string. And then we'll come back with our walk down. And again. So then you're into the chorus, which we already know. All right, we'll talk about the interlude next, where they do some unison bends and together, and we'll continue on. All right, so here is what Ace is doing. He's at the 12th fret on the 3rd string and holding the 13th fret on the 2nd string and bending that 3rd string up. We'll do that 4 times and then a little lick. Alright, so we're bending that up and then we're hitting 13 again. Again. What? 2 more times. Then take your finger, just lay it down, catch that 1st string from 13 to 10, pull off, end up on 13 on the 2nd string. Then hit it again and pull off from 13 to 10. End up on 12 on the 3rd string to 10 on the 3rd string. Alright, so that's Ace's part. And Paul's up here at the 5th fret position on the 1st string, stretching up the 2nd string at 8 and catching 8 on that 1st string after he hits them unison bend. And he does a similar lick. We're going to pull off on the 1st string from 8 to 5, and end up on 8 on the 2nd string, and then hit 8 again and pull off to 5 to 7 on the 3rd, and end up on 5 on the 3rd. Alright, so then after that you hear that. And there's another part, so we'll go after that. Since I'm still in the Paul position, we'll do 5 and 8, just like we have, but there's not going to be an extra strike on that 5th string. We're just going to bend this up, total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 times, and then we'll end up releasing that bend on the 8 from 10 to 6. Same time, Ace. Alright, let's get in the Ace position. He's doing the same thing. He's just bending up that 12 up to 14 and catching 10 on the 2nd. So his last one is a release from bending 12 on the 3rd string up, and a release and then hitting 10. so that gives you the unison, and then they both do. Alright, so you know that part. Okay, so the end of the interlude is going to end up with one guitar, and I believe this is what Paul plays. And again, this is why I think he's doing it in the open position. So I'll play it and show you what I think he's doing here. Alright, so we talked about it earlier, the 4th and 3rd string open, hammering onto 2, and then playing 5. We're going to do that 3 times. Then there's these notes, and this is why I think he's doing it in the open position, because you hear an open 3rd string, hammer onto 2, pull off back to open, and end up on 2 on the 4th string. And do it again. Then just lay your finger down and catch that 3rd string at 2, pull off to open, and then 2 on the 4th string, pull off to open, and then you're going to catch the 3rd fret of the 5th and 4th string for an F. So do you see why I think it makes sense to do this in the open position? So then you start the solo, okay? And the solo at this point is the main riff. You're going to do that 4 times. Alright, so that's the rhythm under the solo. The solo, like I said, goes over the intro 4 times. I'm not going to go over the solo. I've tabbed it out. If you want to spend the time, literally I've put every note down that he's playing, so you'll be able to play along with the tab. The link will be below the video, and on guitar.com I'll have it in the tab section. But after the solo, we're into the 3rd verse, which starts out a cappella, and then we're going to come back in with that walk down on the 5th string. To the chorus. So you follow that part. Alright, so we're coming up to the end rhythm that's over the next solo after the chorus. So what they're doing is A minor, we're going to hit that basically 4 measures, but the 4th measure is a half measure to a G. So just play an A power chord. Saw how I lifted up. They'll do that 3 times, okay? And then you're into the very end solo, alright? So what they do after doing that rhythm is basically an E power chord and then end on the D. So what Ace is doing there, because I really love this lick, I want to show you it. This is the end lick. Again, I really like this. We're doing an E power chord, and Ace hits that open 6th string, and then basically forming a D on the 5th and 4th string, but we're going to hammer on to 14 from 12 on the 5th string, and end up on 12 on the 4th string, and then a pull off from 14 to 12. So we do that twice. a D. And then they end the whole song on an A, just an A power chord. But what you can do to add some interest to that A power chord is put your pinky over the second and first string at 5. Hear how it adds some fullness to that chord? So it'll sound like this. You can do different A's, but again, that will be the ending, and hopefully that helps everyone. Great song, a lot of little nuances to it, but just a ton of fun to play. So I hope all my hard work helps everyone. Enjoy.